Hello, this is Jessica with On a Stack of Books, and today we are going to do a reading wrap-up of basically June. Done reading wrap-ups before where they're more seasonal, but I have been doing a lot of reading, and so I figured I'll do a wrap-up before this becomes a whole bunch of books. So we'll start with The Good Girl by Mary Kubica. And this is a psychological thriller. And honestly, when I look at what I've been reading, a lot of it has been murder mystery thrillers, psychological thrillers. This one was very good. This had, each chapter was a different character's perspective, and it was either before or after a kidnapping. And so lots of twists and turns, but yeah, you've got your main character, well, I don't know if the main character, she gets kidnapped. And so her family and all of the, suspected people before and after her kidnapping. And then at the ending, you definitely, there's a twist that I didn't see coming. So it was really good. Definitely a good read. Then we have Finlay Donavan is Killing It. This was our book club read. I would not have chosen this book. Somebody else in the group picked it. But that's what I love about, reading something another person suggests, because it was really good. It was funny. It was fast paced. It was crazy. You do have to suspend your disbelief for this book, because there is some far-fetched crazy scenarios. And then as we were going through it for book club, somebody said that the genre is a little bit more like a murder comedy instead of a murder mystery or a cozy murder mystery. It was more of a murder comedy. And so Finlay Donavan is the main character. She is a writer in the book, like a romance murder mystery writer, and she gets wrapped up in some actual murders. And it's, a lot of crazy characters, but really funny. It was very good. I very much enjoyed it. And I'm glad we read it. This one is, I have 3 of them. I have 11, 12, and 13, and this is the Josie Quinn by Lisa Regan, Hush Little Girl. Really good murder mysteries. I couldn't predict what was going to happen when you first, and I pretty much got sucked in first 1 to 2 chapters, but you're really like, I don't know how this is going to end. So to me, that makes it very, very good and very enjoyable. So this was the first one that I read in the series, and then I read Her Deadly Touch, and it picks up right where the Hush Little Girl left off, and it was really good. It was just as good. Couldn't predict it. The only thing is that in the beginning of this one, it was mostly, I felt like there was so much focus on the detective versus the murder and the story, but then we eventually got into it and it was good. But that was my only thing. So that was the second one. And there's obviously 10 more before these. Then we get to Lovely Bones, and this one, when I looked it up, I think it was on Goodreads. It's listed as a horror. It's a thriller. It's a murder mystery that is, the perspective is told so it's a 14-year-old girl gets murdered in a brutal way, and it's her perspective. She's talking to you after she died. Like, she knows she died. She's talking to you. It's from her perspective. It does jump back a little bit before she died, but it's mainly, she's basically watching what happens. And so it's a different take on life after death, a very different take for me. Her as someone who's deceased, and she's watching her family members and watching this whole investigation play out. So it was very interesting. It reminded me of watching a true crime show. So that was sort of the feel that you get from it. Sad, and you're watching this murder, and you're trying to figure out and see if they're going to get it. And so very, very good. And then we have hiking through one man's journey of peace and freedom on the Appalachian Trail. And so this is he's a through hiker, which means that he hikes from Georgia to Maine, and he is a northbound hiker. So he is starting in Georgia, going up to Maine. They have southbound hikers where you start in Maine, you come down. And then there are section hikers where they will hike sections of the trail. I myself want to hike the Appalachian Trail, so this was very interesting for me. It was a great read. It's his account, it's his whole story. He lost his wife to cancer, and he decides to hike the Appalachian Trail. He quits his job and goes and he does the through. And so because I want to hike the Appalachian Trail, it's very interesting. He did sprinkle in some statistics and some information that was, good and useful and helpful. So I found it very, very good. I did hike when I was in high school. I did hike from Georgia to North Carolina. So I am familiar with a section of it. And so this is I've collected some books that I have put together for hiking the Appalachian Trail, and this was one of them. So very, very good. Now I am currently reading book number 13, The Drowning Girls. And so this is, the third one in this series with this Detective Josie Quinn. Same thing, really good at setting up an interesting storyline, and I can't predict what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. So it's very good, and I'm about halfway, more than halfway. So I'm reading that one. I'm also rereading Jaws, and so I do believe that this counts as a horror Summerween book. It's a thriller, and I think I have to go back and look. The prompts were read a book in the dark, I think read a book either with a beach on it or a sunset or something, and then it was horror. There was only 5 things, I think. So, but anyway, this is a reread, fantastic summer book, and I think it goes for Summerween. So I did a review video for this, and I did a bead project for this book. So rereading that. And then my daughter is reading this Red Queen series. She is finishing the 3rd book. I have to get the 4th book for her, so I wanted to read this with her while she was still into it and we could talk about it. I just started. So these are the ones that I am reading. That is what I've read for the month of June. And I have more over here that are still for my summer TBR. So for July, so that'll be June, July. So and then August, I'll definitely get through these in the next 2 months, and probably then some. But since I've gotten a lot of reading done, I wanted to go ahead and do this reading wrap up before I had a really big stack of books and make a really long video. So yeah. So thank you for watching, and until next time, I'll be reading.